Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Same-sex marriage denied. The Australian Senate recently voted down a motion for legalization of gay marriage by an overwhelming vote of 31 to 9. The motion was proposed by Australia's Green Party, which incorrectly claims that, quote, Australia is one of only a few democratic nations that does not provide same-sex couples with equal marriage rights, end quote. In reality, only 9 countries out of 148 have legalized gay marriage. Australia's Prime Minister Julia Gillard and opposition leader Tony Abbott both support the Marriage Act 1961, which defined marriage as, quote, the union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of all others, voluntarily entered into for life, end quote. Meanwhile, in America, gay marriage attacks the innocent. New York adoption lawyers are gearing up for what they expect to be a boom of same-sex couple adoptions when the state's legalization of gay marriage hits the books on July 24th. The state already permits same-sex couples to adopt, but adoption experts say that the so-called marriages spur couples to start thinking about families. This represents a sad state of affairs, since a study by the Family Research Council done in 2002 points out that the 1 to 3% of the population represented by homosexuals accounted for up to 1/3 of sex crimes against children. It also cannot be denied that some homosexuals see the molestation of children as a traditional right based on the mindset of ancient pagan cultures, and there are actually public groups that even push this political agenda. You can see a link to the study on our resource page by clicking the link right over here. Irish abortion propaganda. The so-called Catholic National University of Ireland will offer a series of classes this fall attempting to indoctrinate college students into believing that abortion is a valid moral choice. The class, named Termination of Pregnancy, a Lawful Choice, is one class in the program that presents abortion as an acceptable decision under certain circumstances, contradicting Irish law, which still outlaws abortion as a crime. The aim of the class is to promote the abortion industry in Ireland, since thousands of Irish women travel to England every year to kill their children. Classes will be taught by Cherie de Berg, a former counselor for the Irish Family Planning Association, which is an affiliate of International Planned Parenthood. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Abortuary health violations. A Pennsylvania abortuary remains open, even though an inspection by Pennsylvania's health department brought up some nasty results. The clinic was investigated in May when inspectors found dirty instruments that were supposed to be sterile, as well as dirty linens and frozen pools of blood in the freezers. In response, the clinic has been, quote, encouraged to provide a plan of correction by the Pennsylvania Health Department. The clinic's former owner, Stephen Brigham, had his license revoked because of his unethical practices and numerous botched abortions, and the abortion mill is now under new ownership. This situation is a real-life example of the need for abortion clinic regulations in the state of Pennsylvania, home of Dr. Gosnell's recent House of Horrors. Designer baby door opens. Eugenics is returning to Germany in a new law enabling embryo screenings for genetic disorders before they are implanted in the womb by in vitro fertilization. The new law allows testing to be done on the embryos of parents predisposed to genetic disorders, attempting to confirm the likelihood of miscarriage or stillbirth. While the government denies this law as a first step to creating a designer baby culture down the road, many see the new law as a revival of eugenic attempts reminiscent of Nazi Germany. Pro-lifers point out that even though these procedures bring about the birth of children, it is only possible through the death of other embryos. Cleveland under investigation. The Diocese of Cleveland is receiving an apostolic visitor this week, sent by Rome to look into their bishop's leadership capabilities. The former bishop of Trenton, New Jersey, John M. Smith, will be conducting his investigation in the wake of 50 church closings since the summer of 2009. The Vatican Insider released an article several weeks ago regarding the concern Rome has over the welfare of the church in America, also mentioning that several dioceses, including Cleveland, will be receiving an apostolic visitor to check on its status. The widespread and rampant closing of parishes has been a source of worry for Catholics in America, along with financial crisis. Bishop Smith will be assessing the concerns of the faithful during his visit, which is open-ended. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure to check out The Vortex today, where Michael Voris talks about the gay mass that took place in Boston this past weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tell your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.